Hello, so the part we're going to be drawing in this tutorial is the valve body. I'm going to be splitting this tutorial into a few videos as it's a lot more complicated than the other parts that we've drawn. And we're just going to take a look at this sketch here. So the first step is we're going to draw this full region. And we're going to use the horizontal center line as the axis of revolution. So I'm going to open up SolidWorks, File, New, select New Part. I'm changing the units to inches, pounds and seconds. And I'll select the front plane for the sketch. I'm going to draw two center lines intersecting the origin. And I'm going to be drawing this region right here. I'm going to be drawing the straight lines up until the radiuses. So I'm using this bottom left quadrant for the sketch, and I'm going to draw that rough shape. Now that I've drawn that, I can start to dimension it. And the first dimension that we're going to be using is the full width of the valve. Normally we choose the figure in between the tolerances, but in this case we're going for the higher figure. So we're going to dimension that to 18.18. Now we can dimension the full diameter of this flange, and that's going to be 11.49. The next dimension is the 7 1/8. Next we have 3.8775 as it's in between the tolerance. sorry. And we're going to dimension this 6-inch diameter here. Spreading these out to make it a little bit neater. Now I can look to dimension the thickness of the flange. So we have 0.312 and 1.756. And the last dimension is this 1-inch radius here. So after that's fully dimensioned, we're looking to draw this radius down here, and as you can see it's 7.5 radius, add 15/16, and it's from this point here. So I need to draw the center line in. So I'm going to select the center line sketch, and I'm going to sketch it 3 inches above our original one, intersecting the origin. I'm going to use a center circle, and I'm drawing it where these center lines intersect. And I'm going to dimension that to 7.5, add 15/16, and then times it by 2 because that's the radius. Now I'm going to go back into the drawing, and I want to get in this 3/8 radius, as you can see right there. So I'm going to zoom in, use a line, and add a line here. I want this line to be long enough to accommodate for that fillet. So I'm going to go to fillets, and this is 3/8. Select both entities and tick. Now I need to find out the length of this line here. I'm going to go back into the drawing, and as you can see there is a quarter dimension right there, so I'm going to add that in. Now as you can see there's still a gap here, so I'm going to use the 3-point arc tool, and I'm going to make it coincident with this circle. Next I want to add in a tangent relation, so I'm holding control as I'm doing this. I'll select this line and this line, and I'm going to add in this tangent relation. Now I need to do exactly the same with both arcs, holding control the whole time, and I'm going to select another tangent relation. Now you can see that everything's fully defined, and now I can get rid of the rest of the circle. So I'm going to use the trim entities tool, and I'm going to get rid of all the undesirable entities. Don't need that, don't need that. Now I'm going to move on to this fillet here, and as you can see it's 1/8. So to do this I'm going to draw 2 lines that accommodate for a 1/8 fillet. So I'm selecting the line tool and just drawing 2 lines here. Selecting fillets, I'm going to change this dimension to 1/8, and I'm going to select both of these entities. Now for this drawing we don't require this line here, so I'm just going to delete that, and I'm holding control, selecting this point, selecting this other point, and I'm going to add a merge relation. Next I want this radius 15/16 away, so I'm going to be using the offset entities tool. I'm holding control, I'm going to select this line and this entity as well, and I'm going to select offset entities there. I'm going to change the direction to reverse, and I'm going to put in a dimension of 15/16 because that's the thickness of the shell, and just tick that. Now I can hold control on this point and this other point and merge. Now that's fully defined. Now I'm going to want to mirror all these entities across this vertical center line. So I'll select mirror entities. Which entities do I want to mirror? I want to mirror all of these. So I'm left clicking and I'm dragging my cursor from the bottom right to the top left. And now I'm going to mirror about this center line and tick that. Now for the next step I'm going to go features, revolved boss, and I'm going to select that horizontal center line as our axis of revolution, and as you can see the sketch has already been selected, so I can take that, and that's the end of the first part.